Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that feels like a force of nature in our global economy. It's something absolutely everyone experiences, but very few truly master: inflation. We're going to break down the value of vanishing wealth. Because, as you'll see, inflation doesn't just change price tags, it silently rewrites your entire financial future. Let's begin.
Seriously, have you ever stared at a receipt at the grocery store and thought, wait, why does my money feel like it's literally shrinking? It's a personal sting we all feel. But here's a staggering reality for you. Over the last century, major fiat currencies have lost over 95% of their original purchasing power. The cost of living just keeps climbing, and your wallet feels lighter even when your paycheck stays exactly the same. It is a quiet erosion happening right beneath our fingertips.
All right, here's our roadmap for This Explainer. We'll start with the illusion of price tags. Next, we'll look under the hood at the engine of inflation, followed by modern global ripple effects. Finally, we'll break down the winners, losers, and control. Chapter 1. The illusion of price tags. What exactly is inflation?
Think about the critical difference between the nominal value of your cash and its real value. Earlier, 100 currency units bought you a whole basket of goods. Today, that exact same 100 gets you significantly fewer things. The money is the same physical bill, and the nominal number printed on it hasn't changed at all. But its real inherent value, what it can actually extract from the economy, is simply less. This is the invisible theft of your purchasing power. We often think things are getting more expensive, but in reality, the currency itself is just getting cheaper. It takes more units of a weakened currency to buy the exact same stuff.
So by definition, inflation is a systemic loss of purchasing power over time, resulting in increased prices for goods and services. It's so vital to grasp that inflation isn't just shop owners arbitrarily raising prices or sudden corporate greed. It is a systemic decay of the currency itself. When we look at inflation at a macroeconomic level, we're essentially talking about fiat currency dilution. As the supply of money expands without a proportional increase in the actual economy, every existing dollar, euro, or rupee inherently loses a fraction of its strength. It's a mathematical certainty woven right into modern monetary systems.
Chapter 2. The engine of inflation. Why does this actually happen?
Well, this process operates like a relentless economic engine. Step 1 begins when governments and central banks inject massive liquidity into the system, often through mechanisms like quantitative easing or heavy deficit spending. When they create all this new money for circulation, it triggers Step 2. The money supply grows way faster than the actual goods and services available in the real world. This excess cash artificially boosts demand. More money chasing the exact same amount of finite resources inevitably triggers Step 3. Prices rise. This isn't just a market fluctuation. It acts as an invisible tax, quietly transferring wealth and diluting the value of every dollar you've already worked so hard to earn.
And when massive demand meets limited supply, prices are going to spike. We feel this most acutely in three essential, highly inelastic sectors: food, fuel, and housing. Take housing, for example. A decade of cheap credit and institutional buying squeezed available inventory, locking millions of people right out of the market. Fuel costs are incredibly volatile too. A single geopolitical shock can disrupt energy flows, which immediately raises the cost to transport literally every single good you buy. And food prices? They're at the mercy of both energy costs and agricultural supply shortages. These aren't just line items on a budget, they are the everyday pressure points where macroeconomic policy collides directly with basic human survival.
Moving on to Chapter 3, Modern Global Ripple Effects, why it feels so much worse right now.
Distant international events now create direct, unavoidable impacts right in your local grocery aisles. Over the last few decades, the global economy transitioned to these hyper-efficient, just-in-time supply chains. Now, this innovation kept consumer costs beautifully low for a long time, but it also made the modern world dangerously fragile. Because our economies are so tightly intertwined, a single disruption, like a blocked shipping canal, skyrocketing energy costs in Europe, or a massive global health event, doesn't just stay localized. There's really no such thing as an isolated economic shock anymore. These disruptions ripple outward, amplifying inflation and driving up prices everywhere, for absolutely everyone.
And that brings us to a reality that hits brutally close to home: the hidden danger. If your income grows slower than inflation, life becomes harder, even if you work the exact same amount. This is the ultimate stealth tax on the working and middle classes. You might get a 3% raise at work and feel like you're moving forward, but if real inflation is running at 7%, mathematically, you are falling behind.
Your nominal wage gains are completely wiped out by the real cost of living. Your savings lose value. Your living costs outpace your earning power. It's a quiet, relentless pressure that forces people to sprint just to stay in the exact same place.
Finally, Chapter 4, Winners, Losers, and Control. Who actually survives this environment? In every inflationary environment, we see a massive wealth transfer. On one side, we have the adapters, people who hold hard assets, real estate, equities, and resilient businesses. They survive, and honestly, they often thrive, because the nominal value of those assets tends to rise right along with inflation. More importantly, if they hold fixed-rate debt, inflation actually works in their favor by shrinking the real value of what they owe. On the flip side, we have the vulnerable. This system actively penalizes the prudent saver. People holding only cash lose their purchasing power at an alarming rate. Sitting on uninvested cash is literally the most vulnerable position you can be in when fiat currency dilution strikes, because your wealth essentially evaporates into thin air. So, central banks are tasked with managing this chaos, primarily by pulling two massive economic levers: adjusting interest rates and shifting monetary policy. But listen, these are very blunt instruments. Central bankers walk an incredibly difficult tightrope. If they raise interest rates too aggressively, they make borrowing super expensive. Sure, that cools down demand, but it also risks starving businesses of capital and triggering a brutal recession. It's a delicate, high-stakes balancing act of intentionally destroying consumer demand just to stabilize prices. Managing inflation remains an incredibly complex task with absolutely no guaranteed success. Which brings us to our final defining thought. Because money changes, even when the numbers stay the same. Inflation isn't just about prices, it is about the changing value of wealth itself. Once you truly understand fiat dilution, you're no longer just reacting to price tags. You're empowered because you can see exactly how the macroeconomic machine operates. Thank you for joining this explainer. As you look at your own financial portfolio tomorrow, you have to ask yourself, is your money working for you, or is inflation quietly working against it?
This is CorpFile. Inside the world of big brands. Subscribe to explore the real stories behind the companies that shape our world.